A WWE superstar is open to exploring his options. We have a likely spoiler on a title match for NXT Battleground. A popular UK tag team is returning to Progress Wrestling and TNT Extreme. And an AEW wrestler has revealed his approximate return to the company. All this and more on the main event. News video 2 of the day, and we have a WWE superstar that is planning his options and looking into where he could be after the company. This superstar, it's obviously Drew McIntyre. I mean, he's in the news at the moment about as much as CM Punk. And this report comes from Fightful Select, who say McIntyre's WWE deal is up in early 2024, well, before WrestleMania, and we're told that he operated on the possibility that it could end up being his last WrestleMania. While it's been reported that he's leaning towards not staying with the company, we're told that it's more accurate to say that he doesn't know. If things aren't working for both sides by the time the deal is up, McIntyre is willing to explore options elsewhere and leave the door open to return to WWE in the future. Now, this is interesting because this wouldn't be the first time McIntyre's left the company. True, last time he was released, but this time he could be going on his own accord. We all saw what happened with McIntyre when he was released previously. He came over to the UK, he worked with companies like ICW and WCPW, and he put on some genuinely fantastic work. He looked like an absolute star. He even did some great work in Impact Wrestling, and then he came back to WWE and he was a force. We all said he should be world champion, and then obviously at WrestleMania 36 we managed to get that. I also think WWE don't understand what they have in Drew. He is a genuine main eventer. He is an absolute star, but he feels very underutilized at the moment. Yeah, it was great having the program with Gunther and Sheamus. That was awesome, but this guy physically carried the company throughout COVID, and that was a good lot of time, and he's never really received his flowers for it. He's never really received a world title run in front of a crowd. He never got that, which was going to be one of the hugest moments. They did so much promo work to build him up for this, and we never got it. So I wouldn't be surprised that Drew might want to leave. I mean, the obvious speculation would be that AEW would be calling him, which wouldn't be surprising. I mean, he's a genuine star and he would stand out over a lot of the main eventers in that company. I mean, he's a big beefy boy. But whatever Drew does, I mean, WWE could come out and say, hey, this is the creative we've got for you, and I mean, it could work out. They might cough up the right amount of money. We all know Tony Khan would cough up the money for the guy, but as more news about Drew comes out, we'll obviously relay it to you when we can. Next, we have a likely spoiler on a title match that could be happening at NXT Battleground. Now, if you don't know what's special about NXT Battleground this year, it is going to be shown on May the 28th, the same day as AEW Double or Nothing, at the same time. This will be the first time a WWE show and an AEW show will clash when they put on a pay-per-view. And there has been something said about a potential title match on the show. We already have Carmelo Hayes versus Bron Breakker, but Vice President of Talent Development Shawn Michaels has possibly leaked more. Speaking with Stick to Wrestling, WWE Vice President of Talent Development Creative Shawn Michaels discussed the upcoming show and was asked about potential matches for the show, which he replied, "I feel like Noam Dar. He has brought over the Heritage Cup from the UK. I feel like that's something that, again, the American audience needs to sort of see and understand to appreciate. So one of the things I'd like to see maybe in the next couple of weeks is the first ever defense of the Heritage Cup happening here at Battleground on the 28th. So I think, again, that is a very unique, different kind of match. Not everybody can just do that. It's a rounds match. It's something that doesn't, I don't know, work as well, but it's amazing what those NXT guys did in the Heritage Cup matches. So I feel like that's something we're going to have to do. Now, Sean's totally right. The Heritage Cup was great. I mean, like, having rounds-based matches is always good fun anyway. I mean, like, a lot of wrestling fans do happen to watch boxing and UFC. And Noam Dar is pure talent. He has done wonders with that Heritage Cup, and he could put on some killer matches with some of the guys in NXT. So I'd be willing to see this. It would be nice for the American fans to understand, like, this is where, like, a lot of your wrestling came from. Sean also hinted that potentially we're going to get Dijak versus Ilya Dragunov at Battleground, which, I mean, both of them are absolute talent, so I'm willing to see that, I guess. Now we're going to talk about a popular British tag team returning to Progress Wrestling and TNT Extreme Wrestling. That tag team is the Swords of Essex. Now, if you remember back to 2021 when the whole hashtag speaking out movement happened, Paul Robinson was removed from the Progress Wrestling roster because his name did get called out. Will Ospreay, however, hadn't actually fought in the company since 2019, but obviously his name came up in the speaking out movement. But by the looks of things, it kind of just looks like a bit of chitter chatter about Ospreay. But they are now getting let back into the company. Progress announced on their website that Will Ospreay and Paul Robinson, also known as the Swords of Essex, will be returning to Progress Wrestling and TNT Extreme Wrestling. After a comprehensive investigation in which both talent complied with all requests and after taking on board all feedback internally, both TNT Extreme Wrestling and Progress now look forward to welcoming back both talents as a team or as individuals to each respective promotion. This is a big thing for both companies. Paul Robinson is over as hell in this country, and Will Ospreay is one of the biggest stars on the planet. It's no secret that Progress kind of dipped a bit when the start of NXT UK happened, and it is growing again now that company is folded and we're getting all the stars back. But having a star that has won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, for instance, such as Will Ospreay, in your company is huge. So I'm really excited to see what happens with Progress. This could really take him up to being a big player in the UK indie scene again. And speaking of returns, an AEW star has spoke about when he is due to return to the company. This superstar is Eddie Kingston. Per Twitter user Jacob Cohen, Eddie made his return to Ring of Honor tapings recently and spoke about his injury. So apparently following his loss to Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli at Supercard of Honor, Kingston took some time off to deal with a hernia injury. During the TV taping, the Mad King revealed he is having hernia surgery this coming Tuesday, so tomorrow. Kingston thinks he'll be back in roughly around 6 weeks. Now that's very quick. I'm not a doctor, so I couldn't really tell you how long he should be having off, but 6 weeks doesn't really feel that long, and it'll be great to see him back. Eddie Kingston's an absolute star. I still think it could be him beating Claudio still. Eddie Kingston can make stars, plus he is a star. I'd love to see him return to Dynamite at some point, or even Collision when that finally comes around. But we just wish Eddie Kingston the best. Can't wait to see you back. Hopefully come back fully fit, because we're big fans here at the main event. And that'll do it for the news for the day. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with more. And remember to hit like and subscribe to the channel for more content. I will see you later. Enjoy the day. Remember to leave a comment, and I'll see you in the main event.